Mami call Richard. Richard oh. Uncle Rich. You made an Ukobi.
Yeah.
Okoye no e de ne de na wo su se nka ela no ye decision ma wo as film director no e be boa wo sector e be boa wo pa
Ela need about the 53 pages document. I would say that 90% of the content are good. 10% I exempt are very sensitive to the development of the industry if it is left there, if it's not removed.
Which is?
One, licensing of a practitioner. To be a practitioner, the government must license you. It's not done anywhere in the world. It's the industry that is a creative industry across the world. It's the guilds and the unions that empowers practitioners. It's not the state. We see the content, some of the content, I've used the word some because, like I said, about 90%
good.
Good. The 10 is suicidal. And that 10 can't make me a good industry if we don't deal with it. As a film producer, I have to get licenses from the government. When I use the government on authority, NFA is not the film industry. It's government. It's government secretariat authorized to regulate the film industry. So there is the film industry, there's the film industry, and there's the state. And NFA represents the state in working with the film industry to develop the film industry in Ghana. So NFA is not the film industry. Howbeit, the board of directors, they are reps of some of the stakeholders there. That does not make NFA an association.
But say NFA ni the film industry no me fancy emuti no.
We use it in a wrong statement. A government desk to regulate the film industry. Because they said if there is something like a federation of the entire film industry, like the tourism federation, where all the stakeholders come together to form a federation running the state. Then Ghana Tourism Authority is the desk of the government that regulates the operations of or the development of the tourism industry. So there's that distinction. We are confusing ourselves with.
And to me, Rich, say, who an authority and a regulatory unyamamawa, automatically it becomes the more of sana me kan wuti no omo no mo kire say ye A ye B ye C because omo ama sa authority say ye A ye C a say wo want to be operate anamwa
enye no kresa
na et saying
yes on say said the o kan no enye authority no and the formal film industry no oh Mami making me a point.
Maybe. The film industry is there.
Yes.
But you needed, so to say, administration. Ebe to me, abuamu na ma hansi mo juma ni yana mebwa. Wonderful. And you know, it becomes more of, eno na omo no mo regulate mo. So, mo ye A, B, C, D. Ebe bua mo industry na anamwa. Na omo nye no in a vacuum. Eye mo ankasa stakeholders ni bi no moi so ne yafafa moi na mo de ba authority wonum e na mo regulate mo na mo boa
technically it's not supposed to be so as it is in other sectors in the country. But we are fortunate to have some of our stakeholders representing on the board. That does not destroy the reality or the relevance of the authority as a government desk in charge of the film sector. Because it is a GPR drivers a Ghana in any abine Ministry of Transport. Drivers and your muti any Ministry of Transport. If there's an agency under Ministry of Transport, and your drivers niti. GPRTU, your drivers now mukabum omuti It is a buying a tuchima and a buying ko bonia. A yesa omukwoni the timini a buying a face. A buying NFA, chia, edin sheye biba, never quit ya industry na. Ye industry no leaders, any beka boom, any a buying a DSA. You ever see a person a demonstration against the government? A industry in the bit me a demonstration against NFA. It is so ye tia. And I say, or no question, you know, David. There's that distinction that we have to have that clarity. It's unfortunate, sir. Or fortunately, unfortunately, say yes, stakeholders nibi. Our board in so. A camia say, ama NFA no, yet say the industry head, but a government. Say, says the CR no more was the CR no. MPP appointees. Say next 2024, MPP lose election. Ni NDC ba. No, obetimi clear board no. The NDC appointee abeto. It is going to operate on NDC's vision, whatever. But if it doesn't go well with the film industry, who then fights it? It's the industry that have to come together and tell government. Niema say awoye no. Yentimi. So the industry is the practitioners. Then the NFA is the government desk. Together we are stakeholders. We work together. There's that distinction. There's so many industries in this country, and their head is not the government secretariat. Like I cited Ghana Tourism Authority. We have the tourism stakeholders. They have various associations. Then we have all put together the Tourism Federation, where all the associations, all the professional associations in the tourism industry come together to form a federation. And that federation sits with GTA to discuss the growth of the tourism industry. GTA as a government can come out with a policy from the ministry, which might end up destroying the future of the tourism. It will take the federation to combat the government and give government clarity of what it is down there. That if this policy is implemented, it will kill the industry or it will raise the industry or develop it. With NFA and the stakeholders, unfortunately, we've not been able to come together to form such a industry one body where producers association, actors guild, directors guild, crew, marketers, film fixers, all put together to form one desk to face government. And government is NFA. So if NFA said we are bringing LI to ask stakeholders, whether you are representing on the board, because the board don't run NFA 24/7. NFA have a secretariat appointed by the presidency. The board cannot fire the CEO of NFA. It's the president who can fire. So that secretariat has that independence somehow, semi-autonomous, to work on something. It is the industry who said, oh, this document you have brought to regulate us is a draft. You want us to look into it. This and this and this will not help us. Remove it. If you insist, we take it to an arbiter that can really tell you, look, what you are doing, the people that you are bringing, is supposed to come from them to government, to parliament to pass it. It's not supposed to come from the secretariat to parliament. It's not supposed to come from the secretariat to parliament or from the authority to parliament. It's supposed to come from the stakeholders in conjunction with the authority, then submitted to the minister responsible for that sector. Then the minister will submit it. It's not NFA who will submit it. So NFA presents a draft. It's the stakeholders' responsibility to review it and look into it. If there are things that will go ahead, will spoil it, such as permit. In the draft, it said each film, each audiovisual works that you want to produce in this country, you must go to NFA to seek permit. And we are saying this will criminalize the entire country. Our industry is different from other sectors, like medicine, law, and other sectors. Our industry is creative sector. It is arts, where you don't need to go to university to be qualified to know how to create, to know how to sing, to know how to act, to know how to write a script. It's a creative thing. So if you criminalize it that nobody can practice it except government gives you permit, it is not done in Hollywood. It's not done in Nollywood. It is not done in Bollywood. It's not done in China. It's not done in anywhere. When you talk about permit, it's the location. If I want to shoot at Kwame Nkrumah Museum, I need a permit from the authorities there. If I want to shoot on the high street, I need a permit from the Accra Mayor to give me the permit to block and shoot. If I want to shoot at the airport, I need authority from the airport, Ghana airports and whatever. Yes. I don't need authority from the government itself. If somebody's private place, like a Silverbird, if I want to shoot within their vicinity, I need authority from Silverbird. That is what is done across the world. I don't need the government. The moment you passed a law, such law, you criminalize the entire country. So if your daughter or your son in their classroom, they decide to shoot some movies, creating something, like this TikTok has come, YouTube has come. And the moment they do it, without the permit of NFE, they are breaking the law. And the law will deal with them according to the penalties or whatsoever that may so come into the offenders. What we are saying is, don't try to put some powers under NFA when it is not regular across the world. Don't try to make it look like NFA is ajinkwa and ebejiyen. Ambejiyen dexa ya prise aban enhwe so no famboa industry no. The mediator between the industry and the government at the time. Any government can sit on that seat. So it's not MPP who is sitting on today that will look at. It can be NDC, it can be CPP, it can be BOOM, it can be anybody. So government is government. The industry is the industry. That material, let's remove it. Because I'm going to, I want to be a film producer. A clause said I must come and get license from NFE. I will pay. My production company, by Act 1992, NFA must remember that some of the laws, it's supposed to fall on the main constitution. By the Act of 1992, freedom of expression and the media, the film industry is a media industry. And you can't gag the media industry. So as a producer, I should come and get licenses from you before I can produce. One, I will pay to NFE. Two, my production company, after registering with Registered General Department, I must come and register with you 700 Ghana cedis. 700 Ghana cedis. I'm telling you, 700 Ghana cedis. And I'm paying for registering my company. All my crew, or actors that I'm going to work with, I must make sure they are all signed in with NFE. I must make sure they have all signed in with NFE. They will also pay. 3. When I'm going to shoot my script, I must bring it to NFE to register the script. I will pay. 5. When I go and shoot, I will bring the film to NFA to classify. Classification is international standard. We all know. We accept it. It's part of the extortion of the money from us. We will pay for classification. When I finish the work, I may have to come and register the work with NFE. The master work. It's not necessary. You don't need to make it a law. So, and that too, I'm bringing the film to NFE, I will pay.
So it means that every point I said,
so at the end of the day, the art is development and classification of film art. Where is the development factor? We are writing a law to govern us, to regulate us. The law, we are not putting government's responsibility into the law, where government must be obliged in any way to help us develop in terms of any grants or so ever. They look into something called film fund. And they are so excited. I wonder how they are so excited about the film fund. is so absurd. The film fund is not for commercial production. It's for educational productions. So anything that benefits the state, the country, educationally, cultural development, educational development, civil education, movies that fall within civil education, that the fund will support. But if I want to do my Lewin, Ejako, Fanny, whatever, that fund cannot support me. And 98% of movies across the world is a creative fiction movies. It is not educational movies. It's not movies meant for the government benefits. So the fund there is not going to finance the film industry. But when they are talking, they talk so much, they hallow the fund so much that you should keep quiet for all these suicidal clauses should be in the draft so that we will get the fund. I don't need the fund. I want to be a filmmaker like any Hollywood film producer. And 2, there's something called amateur filmmakers. By nature of our industry permits unprofessional exhibition of talent into the industry. It is learning on the job kind of industry that we are in. It is not academic oriented, 100% academic oriented. It's learning on the job, a kind of apprenticeship kind of job. So there's that amateur sector within our industry. This law will kill it because the amateur will not have that qualification that the NFA will need to permit you to go and produce film. So how can somebody learn? And if you make it a law and it's passed, Ghana ni bia enye obia oti baby keke. Enu ni yesre se emra no omo pass pe omo gi omo amaya anyi sa ha na mfim na omo ko pass ya. Echichiri Ghana ni so ye pepe ni yo, uye Kristo ni yo, uye asante ni yo, krobo ni yo. Ufa camera ko twesti ni no ambeji permission wo NFA ho a. Wo bumra so yetimi chew. Ujina ho no mu twa krapo ni ebisa. Then a week before this NFA organized a drone something. We went to that summit. They said that per the aviation law, omo ba be hwehwe movies drone shots boom. Tio, they tell me ni abre ewo permit no. Na ye who said drone shot bi wo sa ufilm ni mu a, ufilm e bi a wa twa dada no. Say utwa before the passage of the law now. The law now, who song. But so after the passage of the law, I mean, we nim pose law be say. That omen yet, ye nim say law be say woho. Na ye who drone shorter, ye bet you producer no. Ye be say OJ permit aviation permit we. And now the pilot to sa drone no edi try. A drone pilot must have a license from Ghana Aviation Authority. And yes, right. When ya hand time sem omo dwenti mamufo no ni yentimi fan engi oman no nkwa na industry na asensen ne komu a egina ahoma so ebewunu mamo mpa akonya ne free industry na sa anase nya sa ahoma ne be sensen ye ahoma be sensen ye komu ahoma ne free ye komu
okay that Mr. Richard Yaw Boateng ono ye president for Ghana Film Guild, Ghana Directors of
Film Directors Guild of Ghana.
Film Directors
Guild of Ghana.